It starts here.
Hello, DeSo. Happy New Year, Merry Christmas, Happy Thanksgiving, all the holidays that I haven't seen you, and welcome to DeSo in the Eyes of beHODLers. This is Matryoshka, my new co-host, Darian Parrish. Please give him a warm welcome in the comment section. And today we have an amazing guest that I wanted to see on our podcast for a while, and she finally agreed and we found time. It's Sarah Goldberry. Hi, Sarah, welcome.
Hi, how's it going?
It's going great. I'm so happy to see you here. We all three of us met at this anniversary actually in the end of the March last year here in Los Angeles when Sarah came down to see us, and Darren was there as well. And we actually, I believe somebody has a recording of me and Sarah playing a song to the moon, NFTs to the moon, that you wrote specifically for NFTs to space mission.
Yeah, it might be my friend who came with me to the party that has the video. I might have to ask her for that.
Yes, I think it was her who was recording
right.
it. Yeah. And thank you. It was such a pleasure jamming with you outside of the venue, just like jamming together. It was really, really cool, and I really enjoyed that.
It was very fun, and you helped me by playing the song that I made up because I'm not so good at jamming on songs I don't know. So.
I absolutely loved it, and playing the song that about the mission that we send NFTs to space was very special too. So, do you mind sharing how you came up with it, and what inspired you to write the song for specifically an event that was happening here on DeSo?
I can't remember. I think it was I don't remember the name of the contest that Disruptorpreneur had put on, but it was like a talent show contest. So every week there was a new theme, and then we would go ahead and make something, and it was due by a certain day. So the theme was that, and so I made a song about it, and it was a lot of fun because every week I'd have to come up with new content based off of the prompt. And I learned about myself that I like prompts in songwriting. I did not know that before because I don't normally have prompts, and it was a little bit of a test because there was a due date, so that gave me like pressure. Okay, I need to make something up. So I would just write it on my phone, write up some lyrics, and then come up with a melody and play it a couple of times, and then just record it after playing it like 1 or 2 times. So it was a good time.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
And let's go back a little bit. And do you mind telling us the story about how you found DeSo or BitClout and your journey in crypto and in DeSo world?
Yeah, so my bandmate Erin, she's my best friend, and then there's one other band member, my sister-in-law Amy. Her husband really loves all crypto things, including his username is BitDads, and he loves Bitcoin the most. But he was like looking through CoinGecko's top coins, 100 coins or something like that in June of 2021, and he saw DeSo, and he was like instantly made an account and then told me about it. And I had just decided, I was like, I'm getting rid of my Facebook. I can't handle all this drama with all the people having all their different opinions and being mean to each other. I just it was stressful. So I was like, I'm going to get rid of this. And so I immediately got onto BitClout, which was kind of something I didn't want to do because I wanted to have no social media, but it was really, really cool. I really like everybody on there, and it's been a lot of fun learning experience. Since I didn't know much about crypto before, and now I feel like I'm a lot more informed about a lot of things that are going on. So, yeah.
Sarah, maybe I can follow up on that. When you first joined, obviously your account is still Goldberry, but when you first joined, you were very much, a band forward account, and I didn't even know there was a Sarah behind the, account for months. And then obviously we interacted a lot on chain, and I got to know more. What was your decision process behind that? And maybe you can just walk us through how you warmed up to sharing your personal identity over time.
Yeah. Well, I originally just made the account to grab the handle because I made our Twitter account in 2011 or 2012. So I always want to get the Goldberry handle. And in 2012, I didn't get the Goldberry handle. I got Goldberry banned, which is messed us up forever on everything. we're Goldberry Band on Instagram and all that. So on DeSo, I was like stoked that Goldberry was available. So I was like, cool, this is just a band page. Like, I'm gonna make this about my band, and it'll be really cool because I felt like, I don't know, there's a lot of rules behind algorithms and stuff like that for like promoting your content. And I was like, there's no rules here. I get to just do whatever I want. And then I slowly was like, well, I want everyone to know who I actually am. So I guess like slowly, I can't help it. I guess I always end up being more personal than maybe I intend. But I think that's a little bit just my personality too, because I think if you get to know me in real life, you're like, oh, she's a little reserved. And as soon as I let you in, you're in, and then I'm just telling you everything. So I'm just like, hey, I'm going to the coffee shop. You want to come? Like, that's just kind of me. So
that's amazing. And I love that. Sorry, Darren, I'll get to in a second. I love that you actually, personal like that, and getting to know you was really, really amazing. And I so happy that we got to meet you and to get to know your personality. And I also feel that this is one of the features that makes DeSo so special, is because here people allow themselves to be more themselves, more like we realize, not like on Instagram where, we use filters to look like nicer, or like on Twitter where we like post on like certain things or some other forms of social media, but like really, really be more ourselves. And that's what I really enjoy about people that I meet on DeSo, because that's pretty much all the people that we meet and that we get to know are like really themselves, with all the things that come with it.
For sure.
Yeah, I think I find myself interacting a little bit of the same way on DeSo, differently from other social media. On another social media site, I might think a lot, try and prepare a post, and then on DeSo I'll just type away and send it off. And I won't want necessarily to put that same post elsewhere. So very, very much the way an early community feels like. Do you think, Sarah, maybe how do you think DeSo is going to change, as it grows? Will we still be this close, will we still have that core group of folks that still are, close knit? Or does this just turn into a similar experience to what you had in the past, on Facebook or something?
I wonder how much of that will be determined by the like feeds that we can maybe, if we can customize our own feeds, maybe we could hold on to our core groups. Like if I wanted to keep all my friends that I have right now in a feed, that'd be really cool. I don't know if I probably have to make up my own front end to do that right now. But like if an app allowed me to do that going forward, I think we could maybe stay tight knit and create our own groups. But I don't know. It seems like it is special because it's small, and it does feel like it is threatened if it were to become big. Even when it was 2021 and there was just so much activity, I was stressed out whenever there was big news because there were so many posts and there were so many people excited. And I was just like, I feel like I'm like blending into the background because, there's just so much happening. But I think that's just chaos that's not organized in some ways too. So I have hope that it can be contained, but I am a little cynical, like it's just gonna depend. I don't know.
And I think that if Zordan is listening, and then then maybe they can work up a front end. You don't need to do it. Maybe they will come up with that we can keep the feeds or the groups, because like you said, I would really love to also have like the core group where people who like I always want to check in whenever I'm there to make sure I don't miss anything from you guys, as opposite to like having everybody else. And I'm sure that especially people might find it very useful. So let's see, maybe it will happen. And talking about Zordan and Diamond App, there was an article about you on Diamond App about you as a band that you were able to monetize and earn more money on these. So do you mind sharing a little bit about this article?
Yeah, so I think it came out on like an email blast and I missed it. And like the Krasensteins mentioned it in their video and I was like, I missed that email. But I had, I don't remember who reached out to me, and I answered a bunch of questions and filled it out. And so I participated in something and then it was posted about later. So I didn't get to actually read it, but I have made for the band and I have all of it in DeSo still. So I haven't cashed out, but more money on DeSo than we've made selling our music online. And so I've talked about that before. I did the Pearl app had like an accelerator program, and they did a little interview with me. And like I said, I'm nervous in front of video cameras. So I wrote down my answer. And so I could probably pull up what I said. But basically,
Sure.
I think we've made on, so like selling all our music online and streaming everything on all the platforms, like $117. And in DeSo, when it was, I actually don't know, I have to pull up Open Prosper for the current price. But when it was like $12, it was like $468 just from coin buys and diamonds, not including NFTs or DAO coins, or we've gotten a ton of prizes from like different contests that people have done to promote stuff. So that's been really cool. So I'm not even counting that.
So you've easily made more than 4 times, other platforms on DeSo,
yeah.
and maybe, more if you include more things. That's amazing.
Yeah, very easily. And it's just fun because if somebody really likes your post and is passionate about it, they can give you 50 cents or $1 or whatever. It's like, or buy your coin or whatever. And so even though it's been slow, I still had stuff like that occur pretty frequently. And I just put it all away. So I'm like, okay, we're gonna, whenever this goes, if this goes higher, we'll just sell this. If it doesn't, like, I still have it somewhere. So
that is really cool. And I really love how DeSo in that way promotes the good behavior, not good behavior, but like something that's useful or supportive to other people. I heard a lot about Twitter hate, but I didn't really saw it much till recently when I opened Mario Noffel's post. He posted about what is your definition of non-binary person, and the answers are just so much hatred and just people saying very mean things, and that those people are just confused and all of that. And this is the majority of what I saw, and I'm like, okay, so that's, people who like have larger following are like more active, like Mario, like they see and experience it like at large every single day. Where on
was
DeSo,
that on DeSo or Twitter?
No, it was he posted it on Twitter.
Okay.
And yeah, it was just like, whoa, so much hatred in the world. And on DeSo, like people want to tip you and give you diamonds for something that's nice or that's useful or that's valuable, that brings some positive impact in this world, which I think is also one of the things why it hopefully will become really, really big in the future.
Absolutely.
So I would like to ask you next about you becoming a DeSo unofficial intern. Would you mind telling us about how this happened and what your... Go ahead.
I'm the unofficial Krasenstein daily video intern. Now, what had happened was there was a period of time where Christopher BitDads was like, I'm not going to be on for like a month, but you should tell me everything that happened. So I was like, well, there's a lot that happens almost all the time. I'll just text you every day. So I would text him all the updates. And eventually I was like, I could be sending, if Ed or Brian missed these, I could just send it to them and then they can put it in the video. And so I got into a habit of just sending Brian messages, just being like, this is what's going on. Did you see this link? Did you see that? And sometimes he's like, yeah, I saw it. That's cool. But other times he's like, no, I didn't see it. So eventually I was like, hey, can I be your unofficial intern? I would like a title because I do give you guys stuff when I can because it's fun. So yeah, that's all. Yeah.
And I mean, you can totally put that on the resume as well, that you're an intern in. I'm sure Brian and Ed appreciate sometime maybe having to work a little less on finding all the news when they're busy with the kids and having you help.
It's a lot of fun, yeah. And he was like, "The job's yours," and I was like, "Awesome! This is great news."
Nice. Yeah. Maybe eventually they will even start to pay you.
If they were a big show, I would maybe ask for that. But for now, it's cool. I like being the intern, and it's fun having a little title. But I've still not been on their show for the reason of being camera shy. So, and it doesn't really fit my schedule either. But yeah.
Well, we appreciate you, coming out of your shell and being here with us. So thank you very much.
You're helping me right now by having me on. So I'm learning right now.
Sarah, there's a lot of other things you've been involved with in DeSo, and you know, one of those being the DeSo community DAO, and just being willing to help on everything. You know, wanting to focus on onboarding users. Maybe tell us a little more about like how you think about, you know, new users coming to DeSo and what's interesting to them. You know, what do you think is that hook in to, you know, get them to stay on DeSo versus, you know, go back to traditional social?
That's a good question. I think I've seen a lot of photographers, a lot of I know there was a period when a lot of astrophotographers like Stargazer, I think he either onboarded a bunch of friends or they all saw his posts. I don't know how they all came. We should ask him about that sometime. But there was like an influx of astrophotographers and all kinds of artists of different kinds. I think when they get immediate feedback, instead, like on Instagram, when you make a post, you'll get like 5 comments and all of them will be DM me about blah blah blah, and it's just like a bot trying to like get you to buy something from them or something. And so when then somebody, like, you get 5 comments and they're like, hey, I really like your picture, hey, that song was really cool, actual interactions with real people, and then people giving you tips on top of that, I think that's a huge draw and definitely a big for keeping people on. At least it has been for me as well. I mean, I really like when I post our stuff and people like it or listen to it or have something to say. It's really cool every time. So
Yeah, definitely
Nice.
engagement feels good. I think that was, you know, something you, when we were talking about the lists, that was a good way to keep engaged. I remember I was using DeSo lists built by Thorsten, and it still works. The UX is not great. You know, it's just you append some usernames to the end of the URL. So you have to have a few different tabs open to keep track of people. But, you know, I had a list.
Yeah.
Matreshka, you were on a list. I don't remember what I called it, but I think it was just like active DeSo OGs or something. And, you know, so I'd see your and interact with your stuff every day. And then Goldberry, you were initially on like the DeSo artists list. And that dwindled. So then it just became like you on there. And I was like, I can just go to your profile. But, you know, I do think that what you mentioned earlier about lists is a good way to stay, you know, engaging with the folks, you know, content you like. And I hope, you know, we get more of that functionality built in natively to the apps as well.
Yes, and go ahead.
Sorry. It just feels rude when they're a real user and they come on, and if they follow me, I don't necessarily follow everyone back because I actually turn that toggle off sometimes, but I try and follow as many people as I can. That makes them the following tab impossible to find my core group. So yeah, I think that's why it's necessary, because I'm not going to unfollow everybody. That seems rude and like, I don't know, like a lot of work as well.
I know, but that's actually exactly what I had to do at some point, because in the beginning I was like politely following everybody back. But then, you know, once it gets like more than 1,000 people, you cannot really like keep track of, like you said, the core group, or you'll just see like somebody who like posts all the time, you know, like, and you don't necessarily know that person or care that much to see their specific updates. And then I just like, I'm lucky, like I have to unfollow people so that I can see those who I actually really want to see in my feed. But lists would definitely have helped solve that, and something more manageable that many tabs, because tabs drive me crazy and I try to close them all of the time. So maybe something with better UI for that. And I do remember there were attempts to do it even with like Clouded and Dylan trying to do the tags, and like there were conversations about having like groups and feeds like this for a while, but I guess it never really, you know, came to fruition, other than Cloud feed having like new DeSo-fi. I'm used to saying Cloud feed. Having, you know, the new tab that you can see all the like newcomers who are just joining the platform, which can also be a fun way to like engage with them and show them a little support, because when you just join, if you don't know anybody, then nobody really comments on your stuff because, you know, you're not showing up in anybody's post. So that's a good way to help engage with.
For sure, there are 3 apps that are either being built or have like a tool that so like Stargazer built his Note Me app, which notifies people that subscribe to it. So like I've subscribed to a couple of his things and it'll give me a notification when he posts. So that's kind of cool. It's useful for this problem. I know Aditya has been building Circle It with Mr. Preet, and that's like Reddit sorta. So I'm hoping that those like circle groups would fix that. And then I think there's Squads by Randir, and I think that's more like a messaging app. But yeah, so there are things that are being built to fix it. But like you say, even if it's just the Diamond app being like, pick 5 of your best friends and you can see all their posts whenever you click this tab, that would be awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Darren, do you have any more questions?
Yeah, Sarah, I mean, I would love to go back to before you were on DeSo so we can understand a little bit more about you and Goldberry the band, because you are DeSo's like an unofficial band, front runner band. Like you are
Sure.
the DeSo band
House
that
band,
comes to
no,
every
house band. I
the
was
house
thinking
band.
about the same. Yeah,
house
like
band.
Illuminati is the house NFT artist. You are the house band of DeSo for sure.
Yeah, I mean, I think we need to, sometimes the house band is like not like famous enough, right? They just play at the local bar or something. So you can start as the house band, and then you're like maybe the breakout success, however we want to frame that. But we'd love to hear more about the founding of that. I know you and Aaron have been friends for a long time, but maybe just take us back to, Goldberry's formation, what the like vision was, as if you were like a startup or something, and how you got here.
Yeah, so it's funny, we were friends in high school, and I basically was like, I'm gonna be your best friend, and Erin was like, okay, I don't know about that, she's more shy and like reserved. So eventually she was like, okay, we're best friends, it's cool. And she told me she one day at school was trying to write a song and wanted some help. So I already played guitar and sang in like the school band, because we have like weekly services where we need like music during the chapel service or whatever. So I'm like, I've never tried to write a song before, I've never even thought about it. So she gave me her lyrics and we sat down, we made up the song, and we actually still have the words for it, but it's never been finished. So that kind of sucks. But after that, we were like, we like writing songs together, let's just do this more. So we did it all through junior and senior year. And so that's like 2010, 2011. Somewhere in 2012 is when we picked the name Goldberry. It's a Lord of the Rings name. I think you might know this because I've shared it before, but just in case anyone else listening does not know, it's a very obscure character in the first Lord of the Rings book. And so I was reading through the series. It took me like 10 years to read the book series because it's so long and it's so slow. But in the very first book, I ran across that name, and I've been looking for a band name and running all band name ideas through Erin, and she was rejecting every single one. And eventually I was like, what about Goldberry? It's from your favorite book. Like, and she was like, I like that. So that's how we got the name. And then after that, I went and tried to claim it on everything online that I could. So what else did I leave out? Erin is like a creative writing. That's what she went to school for. And she's always, since she was a little kid, wanted to write books, fiction books particularly. So she's always been into writing and has always been passionate about it. I have always just been like, I like reading books. I like playing video games. I like fantasy stuff, but not necessarily like knew that I would write. And so I kind of fell into the idea of songwriting with her, and she's kind of taught me a lot. She still will help me whenever I like give her some lyrics, and she's like, the second line needs to match the first, like she'll help me with structure and stuff like that. But we really bounce back off of each other for everything. So yeah,
teamwork. I like it.
Yeah.
And having gold in the name of anything just like makes it feel more premium, or like so I think that was a wise choice. Maybe I'll ask one more question before turning it back to Matreshka. What's you mentioned being a gamer, what's something on DeSo like Web3 gaming that you may be excited about? We haven't had a lot of that on DeSo yet. I know there in other parts of crypto there's a lot of Web3 gaming stuff going on. I've explored a bit of it. Do you see DeSo as being something where Web3 games kind of enter the conversation there, or do you think that stays on other chains?
I think that definitely could. I remember Flappy Diamond, if any of you guys played that. It was like Flappy Bird. This was on a DeSo app called Flick. I think it was Flick.
Oh yes, I had an Android that I still
I think
have.
that's
They
the
never
app
had it
name.
for Android.
It could have been a different name, a different app.
Yeah, I
but
think
anyways,
it was Flick. Yeah.
you could go on there.
Nirvana loved playing it all the time.
Yeah, you could play Flappy Bird and you get diamonds, but they weren't diamonds like DeSo. They were actually creator coins. So different people would sponsor it. That was really fun. But I know that NFTZ has been doing a lot of 3D games where you like have to find a ghost and you get a free NFT, or you like shoot. They had something for the World Cup where you like shoot a goal somehow. I'm not sure how. I didn't get to do that one. So they had a few different games that they're kind of working on building in like a 3D world. So I think there's a huge potential for it. I am not a programmer, so I don't know how any of that works, but I would be up for playing any and all DeSo games for sure.
Cool. Well, thanks for the tip on NFTZ. I love the team there, and I'll have to check out what games are possible there. So thanks, Sarah.
Yeah, no problem. We all get with our profile get a virtual gallery, and I think inside that gallery is all those kinds of things. I know the ghost is still there. I'm pretty sure. So yeah.
Nice. That is so much fun. I haven't seen this, so I also definitely do want to check it out and see. Try to catch a ghost. That sounds fun.
Yeah.
Sarah, are you planning to come to this year's anniversary, which we should also start planning like right now, because I don't think anybody else is doing it, as always.
Well, just like last year, I'm very skeptical, but last year worked out great. And is it going to be in LA again, you think? Or are we going to change up the location?
I'm guessing so, because it's the easiest way to get the core team to come, because they're here. That's the only reason why, it was like chosen in the first place as well.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
Because we tried inviting Nader to like Tampa Beach meetup that Michelle Lord did. And, we were hoping maybe he would come, but he didn't. But to LA, he actually did show up, because it was just like a short ride. And it was really, really awesome to meet him in person.
It was really good to meet him in person. I didn't ask him any questions. I was just like, hi, how are you? And just like I thought I took a picture with him, and it was actually a short video, which was really funny. But yeah.
Oh.
Good time. Good time.
Nice.
Well, Nader
maybe this year you will.
Sorry,
what did you say?
I was gonna say Nader had been on the he bought an NFT to come on the yacht in Tampa. So Matreshka, we would have been hanging out for 4 hours with Nader had he come.
Oh my goodness.
That would have been a funny time. And but yeah, I mean, I think LA might make sense. I have been talking about Mr. Triplet about the event. So Matreshka will sync soon. He asked if anyone was on it. I told him you had started the conversation, and then I reached out to Core to see what their thoughts were. So we'll get a location. And Sarah, this time we need to plan a little better. I remember you were like across town for one of the nights, and like we wanted you to come out, and it was like kind of late. Like we need to make sure like everyone's in on everything, because it was just such a good time.
Yeah, definitely. I'm just normally used to only traveling for work, and I'm used to my work paying for everything, and so I was really shy about spending any money. But I think I maybe have a little more confidence if I plan ahead. What time of year was it last year? March?
It was end of March. Yeah.
End of March. Okay. All right. It's in my mind. End of March. I can think about it. I have points with Southwest. I could probably do something. And maybe stay with my friend again. I definitely messed up the flight home, though. I definitely booked like April something. So like I had to book a new flight. So yeah. Don't ever use Spirit. That's a sketchy airline.
Oh yes, never use
That was
Spirit.
my problem. That was my
worst. Yeah, you cannot do anything with them. It's the worst. Yeah.
It was terrible.
Yeah. Sorry to hear that, but yeah, every time there is an event and these people meet up, somebody misses the plane or like something happens like that. It's just, I don't know why. It's just, it just happens. Or sometimes people just want to stay longer and they, miss their flight. Yeah. So yeah. So finishing the conversation, I just wanted to ask you one more question. Looking forward into the year 2023 that is just starting, we literally just finished the first week. What are you most excited for and looking forward to in the upcoming year? And what are your thoughts about where DeSo will be by the end of the year?
Yeah. So what am I most excited about with DeSo or just in general?
In DeSo and in general, please add that as well. I would love to hear that as well.
Oh, sure. Well, I'm just happy that there's a roadmap, and I'm really excited that we've been seeing things get filled in, and I'm excited for them just to launch officially Megaswap, because that was like next on the list. But I don't know if that's my most excited thing on the list. I don't know. I don't know what my next favorite is. I'll think about that.
Okay,
but
that's fine. Megaswap is very exciting.
It is exciting. It is exciting. I mostly am just like, I like to see all the boxes checked. So that's part of it, is I'm like, it's next. And it's functional, but it's on like beta mode. So but for Goldberry, I'm really excited about us releasing our next 4 songs. We have to do all the mixing for them. So we have the rough mixes done, and we have a bunch of notes. We have a Google Doc with all of our notes of what we initially noticed, and then we're going to go in and mix each song. And then as we go, he always sends it back to us. We have to listen to it 800 more times, make more notes, then he makes more changes. It goes back and forth like 10 times. So I'm excited for that. And it went much faster than the first 6 did, just recording these 4. So I was encouraged by that speed.
Nice. That is very exciting. And I'm looking forward to hear them. And I actually have your CD here with me that I'm taking with me tonight to listen in my friend's car, because I don't have a CD player at home or anywhere to play like the CD, but I really wanted to listen to it. I wanted to listen to it like before, but have to find the device to actually use it on. So very excited to be hearing to you more tonight, and for the upcoming songs to hear them. That's very, very exciting.
Yeah, I'm excited to share them with you guys. And they're songs we've played live, so people who know us in town in St. Louis will know them, but they'll sound much different. So they'll be new to everybody online, but totally different for everybody, because there's going to be a lot of drums. One of the songs particularly has more drums than anything we've ever had, so that was really fun. Stuff like that. So we asked.
Sarah, I was going to say, Sarah, as we run down to time here, I just wanted to thank you for bringing Goldberry onto DeSo. It's, definitely, I'm glad we got to hear your music, learn about your music, and continue to be part of the journey. I'm looking forward to the 4 new songs as well. So just thank you for chatting with us. And, you've been such a good, promoter of DeSo and friend to everyone. So we appreciate the conversation.
I appreciate both of you guys very much. Thanks very much.
Thank you so much. And thank you guys for watching. Please, if you don't follow Goldberry and you've been living in a cave, go ahead and definitely follow her and listen to her music. And thank you so very much for joining us. It's been absolutely amazing. Thank you for coming on camera. Like, really, really appreciate it. And thank you for everything that you're doing for DeSo, because like Darren mentioned, you are such a huge part of DeSo and you participate in so many things that is just admirable. And like seeing your growth and becoming a Discord mod, and then, Krasenstein intern, who knows what's next. And definitely looking forward to you becoming more and more famous in the future. And